Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
You ever heard the term silent heart attack? I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's chief medical correspondent. A silent heart attack is exactly what it sounds like. It's a heart attack that you don't realize is happening at the time. Thing is, they can be just as dangerous as regular heart attacks that come with all the regular symptoms. A really interesting new study out of Finland found that almost half of people who died of sudden cardiac arrest had experienced a silent heart attack earlier in life, without ever knowing it. According to one expert from the American Heart Association, people who have silent heart attacks are more likely to have non-specific and subtle symptoms, such as indigestion, excessive fatigue, or they may think that they strained a muscle in their chest or their upper back. Bottom line is this: you know your body better than anyone else. If you're not feeling right, you should go get it checked out. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Now, back to the Ben Shapiro Show on Talk Radio 560 KSMO.
Hey, welcome. This is the Ben Shapiro Show. Okay, joining us on the line is Dr. David Mackworth. He is a Christian from Birmingham, UK. And he had been an accident and emergency doctor for 26 years, until he lost his job with the UK's Department for Work and Pensions. Why? Well, he refused to identify clients by their chosen gender instead of their biological sex because he is a doctor. He said that using transgender pronouns went against his conscience as a doctor and as a Bible-believing Christian. And so it was then ruled that it was actually violative of the law for him to believe in the Bible. Joining us on the line right now is Dr. David Mackworth. Thanks so much for joining the show, Doctor.
It's great to speak to you, Ben.
So why don't you explain exactly what went down here? How did this whole situation arise?
Yes, the situation arose. I took a job with the Department for Work and Pensions, which is a government department, doing disability assessments on clients, on people who came in with various disabilities. And during the training, it came up that people came in requesting the use of pronouns in a transgender way. When we asked the trainer whether we could question this, we were told we don't question this, we just use whatever pronoun the client chooses or wants. And I said that as a Christian I couldn't do this in good conscience. This led to further questioning and my eventual sacking.
Well, let me ask you about why you decided to make the case that you weren't going to do it based on Christian belief. Why not just suggest that, in your medical opinion, male is male, female is female, you're a doctor, you don't treat what's in people's minds and perceptions of self. What you do is you treat people's bodies. So if you walk in and you are a female, physically speaking, you're going to treat them as a female. Why did you feel the need to cite Bible belief as sort of a defense to science?
There's two answers for that. First of all, clearly to me it is entirely unscientific to argue that a person can change sex. There's not a doctor in the world that can prove that a person can change sex. But from a Christian point of view, as a matter of conscience, not only would I be doing something that I deem to be dishonest, but that would be for me something that which affected my Christian faith very deeply, affected my walk with the Lord Jesus Christ. But I'd also argue that if we only use scientific arguments because of the prevailing relativistic worldview which says that everything is true, which is clearly nonsense, that science alone isn't strong enough. So it's important to me to make a statement both as a Christian and as a doctor who's studied medical science, that on both of these counts I find it impossible to use pronouns in that way.
Resume Dr. David Mackworth, who was fired. He was fired from his job with the UK government for refusing to identify clients by their chosen gender. Now, doctor, you weren't trying to offend transgender clients. You were being polite with them. You just would not refer to them by a non-biological pronoun. Is that correct?
That is correct. As Christians, we're called to love everybody. We love these people, but we don't consider it loving to lie to people. And in essence, there's a difference between them saying to me, I want you to use this pronoun, and me being forced to use it against my conscience.
Well, let me
called compelled speech.
Well, let me ask you, so the ruling came down, and the employment tribunal basically said that if you are a Christian, you are simply not allowed to work for the government, effectively speaking. They said that Genesis 1:27 is incompatible with human dignity. Is that the proper phraseology to use?
This is the phraseology they use. I'm still shocked at the depth and the extent and the scope of the tribunal's findings, the judge's ruling. This clearly doesn't just affect Christians; it affects everybody, whatever their beliefs, because it seems to preclude freedom of speech, saying that everybody now has to believe transgenderism or transgender doctrine to be true, I just can't go along with that.
I mean, it is an astonishing contention. I mean, this effectively means that freedom of religion no longer exists in Britain when it comes to any sort of employment, because aren't there laws in Britain that also prevent, so-called discrimination even in the private sector? So it's not just a matter of you working for the government. If you were working in